Chinese President Xi Jinping is currently on his first overseas trip since being re-elected as Chinese president in March. His trip includes state visits to Senegal, Rwanda and South Africa, where he will attend the 10th BRICS Summit. China and Africa enjoy a strong relationship which has stood the test of time. Their close ties go back to the 1950s, when China and Africa fought side by side against imperialism as equals who had both struggled for their liberation. China has been sending medical teams to Africa since 1963, treating a total of 200 million African patients so far. China also helped in the construction of the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, even as it faced its own difficulties in the 1970s. And the China-Africa friendship continues to grow. With development as their top priority, in the last few years, China and Africa have lifted their relationship to new heights. And the sincerity, real results, affinity, and good faith have continued. China is Africa's largest trading partner. Last year, the bilateral trade volume between China and African nations reached $170 billion, and China's imports from Africa increased by 32%. There is a saying about China's reform and opening up. It says, if you want to be rich, then first you need to build a road. And many African countries have also seen how well-constructed infrastructure can boost development. By the end of 2017, China had helped to build 5,600 kilometers of highways in Africa. That's equivalent to the distance from Beijing to Moscow. On top of this, more than 6,200 kilometers of railways have been constructed, including the Ethiopia-Djibouti Railway and Kenya's Standard Gauge Railway from Mombasa to Nairobi, which created 46,000 jobs alone. A number of ports, bridges, power stations and stadiums have also been built in Africa, including the Côte d'Ivoire's Soubra hydropower plant, the biggest of its kind in West Africa, a place which has long suffered huge energy shortages. China-Africa cooperation currently accounts for over 20% of African economic growth, and cultural and people-to-people exchanges continue to grow. China has built more than 200 schools in Africa and trained 120,000 local talents in China. On top of this, more than 130 pairs of sister cities have been established between China and Africa. China-Africa cooperation has brought benefits to both sides and has won praise and recognition from African partners. The former foreign minister of Lesotho said, "Instead of looking for a situation of dominance, it is clear that China wants to be a partner and is looking for cooperation with Africa." As Chinese President Xi Jinping said, with a joint population of 2.4 billion people, China and Africa share a community of common destiny and common interests. China's experience in developing from a latecomer to an economic powerhouse is inspiring to many African countries. By aligning the Belt and Road Initiative with the African Union's Agenda 2063, the two sides continue to translate their long-lasting relationship into even more cooperation and development, as brothers, as partners, and as friends.